As a brain doctor, I'm shocked. This morning habit, triple your stroke risk after 60. The assertion, delivered with the grave weight of professional experience, that a particular morning habit could dramatically triple an individual's stroke risk after the age of 60 is not merely a headline designed to capture attention. It is a profound medical alert stemming from observations that, even for seasoned neurologists and cerebrovascular specialists, defy easy categorization and demand urgent reconsideration of what constitutes normal or harmless daily routines. The very phrase, "I'm shocked," coming from a brain doctor underscores the insidious nature of this particular habit, implying that its danger lies not in overt, easily identifiable threats, but in its subtle, cumulative, and often overlooked impact on the delicate physiology of the aging brain and cardiovascular system. It speaks to a revelation that challenges long-held assumptions about morning rituals, forcing a reevaluation of how our very first waking moments might be unknowingly setting the stage for future catastrophic health events. The medical community, through years of rigorous study and countless patient encounters, understands the myriad factors contributing to stroke risk. Hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking, obesity, sedentary lifestyles, and genetic predispositions are all well-established culprits. Yet, to pinpoint a singular, pervasive morning habit, one likely embraced by millions without a second thought, and attribute such a significant escalation in risk, a threefold increase, to it, is to uncover a critical blind spot in our collective understanding of senior health and preventative care. This insight demands immediate and comprehensive elucidation, for its implications extend far beyond individual anecdote, touching upon public health strategies, patient education, and the very fabric of how we advise our aging population to nurture their most vital organ, the brain. The specific morning habit generating this profound concern, often disguised as efficiency or a necessary component of a productive day, is the abrupt, high-stress, dehydrated launch into the morning. This isn't about any single egregious act, but rather a dangerous confluence of seemingly minor practices that, when combined, exert an immense physiological toll, particularly on the vulnerable systems of individuals over the age of 60. It typically begins with a jarring, sudden awakening, perhaps from a loud alarm that rips one from deep sleep rather than a gentle, gradual transition. Immediately upon this abrupt awakening, the individual often launches straight into highly demanding mental or physical tasks, sometimes even before fully rising from bed. This might involve immediately checking emails, diving into stressful news, engaging in complex problem solving, or even undertaking strenuous physical activity, all without allowing the body and brain the necessary time to gradually shift from a state of rest to activity. Crucially, this rapid ascent into high alert mode is frequently compounded by a significant state of overnight dehydration, which many neglect to address immediately upon waking. 8 or more hours without fluid intake leaves the body, and especially the blood, in a more concentrated state, to then, on top of this dehydration, immediately consume highly stimulating substances like very strong coffee or energy drinks on an empty stomach, perhaps even foregoing a balanced breakfast due to perceived time constraints, is to inflict a series of systemic shocks that the aging cardiovascular and cerebrovascular systems are increasingly ill-equipped to handle. The cumulative effect of this abrupt, high-stress, dehydrated launch creates a volatile physiological environment that, when repeatedly enacted, day after day, week after week, precipitates a dangerous cascade of events leading directly to elevated stroke risk. To understand why this specific amalgamation of morning routines is so perilous, particularly for those over 60, we must delve into the intricate physiology of the human body and the unique vulnerabilities that emerge with age. The primary mechanism of danger lies in the acute and chronic fluctuations it induces in blood pressure and heart rate, coupled with its detrimental impact on blood viscosity and vascular integrity. Upon waking, there is a natural surge in cortisol, the stress hormone, which is part of the body's mechanism for preparing for the day. However, a sudden jarring awakening, coupled with immediate exposure to stress, mental or physical, exaggerates this cortisol surge. This in turn can lead to a sharp, rapid increase in blood pressure and heart rate. For younger individuals, resilient blood vessels can often accommodate these fluctuations without significant detriment. For those over 60, however, the landscape of the cardiovascular system is often dramatically different. Years of wear and tear, coupled with common age-related conditions such as atherosclerosis, hardening and narrowing of the arteries, reduced arterial elasticity, and potentially undiagnosed or poorly managed hypertension, mean that blood vessels are far less capable of adapting to sudden, intense pressure changes. A sharp, unmitigated spike in blood pressure can place immense stress on these fragile, less pliable blood vessel walls, increasing the risk of rupture, hemorrhagic stroke, or dislodging atherosclerotic plaques, ischemic stroke. The sheer force exerted against these compromised vessels can be the proverbial straw that breaks the camel's back. Furthermore, the element of dehydration is a critical, often underestimated accelerant of this risk. After hours of sleep without fluid intake, the body's hydration levels are naturally diminished. This leads to a higher concentration of blood, meaning it becomes thicker or more viscous. Thicker blood requires the heart to work harder to pump it through the circulatory system, thereby further elevating blood pressure. More critically, increased blood viscosity significantly raises the risk of blood clot formation. In the context of narrowed or damaged arteries, a thicker blood consistency can more easily lead to the aggregation of platelets and other clotting factors, forming thrombi that can obstruct blood flow to the brain, culminating in an ischemic stroke. When this state of dehydration is then immediately met with a strong stimulant like caffeine, which is a diuretic and can temporarily increase blood pressure, the combined effect is a synergistic assault on the circulatory system. Caffeine, while offering temporary alertness, can exacerbate dehydration if not properly balanced with water intake, and its vasoconstrictive properties can further strain already vulnerable blood vessels, especially in the brain. The body, rather than gently rehydrating and gradually increasing its metabolic rate, is thrown into a state of heightened stress and potential hypovolemia, pushing its limits precisely when it is most vulnerable. The impact of this abrupt, high-stress, dehydrated launch extends beyond acute vascular stress. Chronic exposure to such morning rituals contributes to systemic inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which are well-established contributors to atherosclerosis and endothelial dysfunction over the long term. The repeated fight-or-flight response triggered by a stressful, rushed morning floods the body with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which, while beneficial in short bursts, become detrimental when chronically elevated. These hormones, over time, can damage the delicate inner lining of blood vessels, the endothelium, making them more prone to plaque formation and less able to dilate or constrict properly in response to physiological demands. This constant state of heightened alert day after day erodes the very resilience of the cardiovascular system, paving the way for conditions that make stroke more likely. For individuals over 60 who are already contending with age-related physiological changes that naturally increase inflammation and reduce cellular repair mechanisms, this habitual morning stress acts as a potent and continuous accelerant of cerebrovascular decline. The subtle, invisible damage accumulates, silently escalating risk until it reaches a critical threshold, often manifesting as a sudden, debilitating stroke. Why is this particularly dangerous for individuals after 60? The answer lies in the confluence of physiological aging and the increased prevalence of underlying health conditions that accompany older age. As humans age, several critical changes occur within the cardiovascular system. 1. Arterial stiffness and atherosclerosis. The arteries naturally become stiffer and less elastic, a process known as arteriosclerosis. Furthermore, the buildup of plaque, atherosclerosis, is far more common, narrowing the arterial lumen and making vessels prone to rupture or occlusion. These changes mean that the blood vessels of a 60-year-old are far less able to tolerate sudden surges in blood pressure compared to those of a 30-year-old. 2. Increased prevalence of risk factors. Hypertension, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat that increases clot risk, are significantly more common after the age of 60. These pre-existing conditions create a background of heightened vulnerability, where an additional stressor, like the described morning habit, can have a disproportionately severe impact. For instance, an individual with already elevated blood pressure will experience an even more dangerous spike from the abrupt, high-stress, dehydrated launch. 3. Reduced physiological reserves. The body's overall capacity to recover from stress, manage fluid balance, and regulate blood pressure diminishes with age. What might be a transient, manageable stressor for a younger person can push an older individual's system beyond its compensatory limits. The resilience of the autonomic nervous system, which regulates involuntary bodily functions like heart rate and blood pressure, also wanes, making it less effective at buffering external stressors. 4. Medication interactions. Many seniors are on a regimen of medications, including those for blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood thinners. The physiological disruptions caused by the dangerous morning habit can interact unpredictably with these medications, potentially reducing their efficacy or exacerbating side effects, further complicating an already delicate physiological balance. For example, a sudden drop in blood pressure from dehydration combined with blood pressure medication could lead to orthostatic hypotension and a fall, while a sudden spike from stress could overcome the protective effects of the medication. 5. Subtlety of symptoms. Older individuals might also have a diminished perception of subtle physiological distress signals, or they might dismiss them as just part of getting older. This means the cumulative damage might progress unnoticed until a critical event occurs, considering the broader context of senior health. This revelation underscores a fundamental principle. Preventative care and lifestyle adjustments become not merely advisable, but absolutely critical as we age. The cumulative effect of years of habits, both good and bad, manifests most profoundly in later life. While genetics play a role, lifestyle choices, especially those made consistently over decades, are powerful determinants of health outcomes. A stroke is not merely an acute medical emergency. It is a life-altering event that can lead to permanent disability, loss of independence, and a significantly reduced quality of life. The recovery process is often arduous, requiring extensive rehabilitation and placing immense emotional and financial burdens on individuals and their families. Therefore, identifying and mitigating modifiable risk factors, even seemingly innocuous daily rituals, holds immense power in safeguarding neurological function and promoting healthy aging. The profound shock expressed by a brain doctor stems from the realization that such a pervasive and seemingly harmless habit is a silent yet potent contributor to cerebrovascular disease. It's a habit that is easily adoptable in a fast-paced modern world that glorifies immediate productivity and pushes individuals to hit the ground running. That the pressure to be instantly responsive, to tackle demanding tasks before the day has even truly begun, to forego basic physiological needs like rehydration and a nourishing meal in favor of perceived efficiency, creates a perfect storm for stroke vulnerability. This isn't a rare, exotic risk factor. It is woven into the fabric of daily life for many, making its identification all the more urgent and its potential for widespread impact all the more alarming. The ramifications of this understanding compel us to reevaluate our approach to senior health education. It necessitates a shift from merely listing established risk factors to delving into the nuanced interplay of daily routines and their long-term physiological consequences. It demands that we empower older adults with actionable strategies to transform their mornings from a sequence of dangerous physiological shocks into a nurturing, health-promoting transition. Simple interventions, when consistently applied, can dramatically alter the risk profile. These might include gradual awakening, opting for alarm clocks that simulate sunrise or using gentle, progressively louder sounds to wake up, allowing the body's natural circadian rhythms to guide the transition from sleep to wakefulness, thereby minimizing the stress response. Immediate hydration, making it a non-negotiable first act of the day to drink a glass or two of plain water slowly upon waking. This simple act addresses overnight dehydration, thins the blood, and prepares the circulatory system for the day's demands. Mindful transition, allowing for a few minutes of quiet contemplation, gentle stretching, or deep breathing before engaging in high-stress mental tasks or vigorous physical activity. This allows the autonomic nervous system to gradually shift from parasympathetic dominance, rest and digest, to sympathetic activation, fight or flight, in a controlled manner, preventing sudden blood pressure spikes. Balanced breakfast. Prioritizing a nutritious breakfast that provides sustained energy and avoids large blood sugar spikes rather than skipping meals or relying on sugary, highly processed foods. This stabilizes blood glucose, supports endothelial function, and reduces the likelihood of overeating later in the day. Strategic caffeine intake. If consuming caffeine, doing so after proper hydration and a light meal, and in moderation. This reduces its potential to exacerbate dehydration and provides a gentler, more sustained energy boost without the sharp physiological stress. Blood pressure monitoring. For those at risk, regular home blood pressure monitoring, especially in the morning, can provide crucial insights into individual responses to morning routines and help tailor interventions. The urgency conveyed by the brain doctor's shock is a call to action. It highlights that maintaining brain health and preventing stroke in our senior years is not solely about managing chronic diseases or adhering to medication schedules, vital as those are. It is also profoundly about the seemingly small, repetitive choices we make at the very beginning of each day. These choices, when accumulated over decades, possess an astonishing power to either safeguard or sabotage the intricate vascular network that nourishes our brains. The awareness of this particular abrupt, high-stress, dehydrated launch as a triple threat to stroke risk after 60, therefore, represents a pivotal moment in preventative medicine. It empowers individuals with the knowledge to actively reshape their mornings, transforming potential peril into a powerful daily ritual of self-care and profound health protection, ensuring that the dawn of each new day is met not with a silent threat, but with a deliberate commitment to well-being and longevity for the brain. The challenge, and indeed the opportunity, lies in translating this critical medical insight into tangible, widespread behavioral change, fostering a culture where mindful, gentle beginnings become the norm rather than the exception for our cherished senior population, safeguarding them from a preventable and devastating neurological event. The subtle power of habit, once understood, can be harnessed for profound good, turning a source of risk into a cornerstone of robust senior health. This medical revelation therefore serves as a powerful reminder that our daily routines hold sway over our long-term health in ways we are only just beginning to fully comprehend, demanding a holistic and introspective approach to wellness, starting the moment we open our eyes each morning.